So we all know, of course, it's getting more and more expensive to shop at the grocery store. Things have not, in fact, gone down. Remember, we did a story the other day suggesting that, of all the items when you go grocery shopping, hard to believe, but coffee leads the list for things that have increased the most over the past year. But that's not the focus of our next story. The focus is the fact that too many of us, and I know we've discussed this before, because I have a very bad habit of eating foods that already say they, have gone bad. I'm sorry. No, they're best before. And that's why we're discussing this. So it turns out a new study estimates that Quebec households waste $600 a year on food, with half of that loss linked to confusion over just that, best before dates. Sylvain Charlebois, you've heard him here. He is, of course, known as the food professor, senior director at Agri-Food Analytics over at the university, Dalhousie University in Halifax, and he's on the line. Sylvain, thank you for coming back. Let me just deal, because I like your line about, you know what, and it's so simple. Best before does not directly mean bad after. Explain.
Well, the date itself is not based on science. It's just based on when the product actually left the production line. And the best before date applies for products that can be, for which the conservation period is no longer than 90 days. So it is really just a point of reference, and of course the industry will want you and I to consume food at its optimal state. So obviously freshness and quality may change after that date, but these products are still edible. Now, of course, there is a difference between unopened packages and open packages. As soon as you open a package, as soon as a food product is exposed to air, that will likely accelerate the degrading process for any food at all. So that's something you want to be paying attention to.
Say that last part again, paying attention to what?
If a product is open or not, if a product is exposed to oxygen and air. So people have been asking me, well, what about meat and what about different products? Of course, if those products are exposed to air, that will reduce significantly the conservation period for that product.
Okay, but I mean, so I'm going to ask the question then. Let's say you start off with a piece of chicken, right? So, and I guess animal protein is different because it's not necessarily easy to tell it's gone bad. But if you start eating it and then you don't finish it and you wrap it up either in aluminum foil or plastic wrap, it's been exposed to air, but you've now covered it up. Does that buy you more time?
It will buy you more time. And of course, what we recommend people is to rely on your senses, essentially. So you can look at the piece. If it's in your fridge, it's been in your fridge for a couple of weeks, for example, look at it. You can smell it. If something is not off, then you can either taste it, and if everything is still okay, then you're good to go. But with animal proteins, you don't want to stretch it too much. But what we're finding out in our studies that a lot of people, as soon as they see a best before date, past that day, a day after, they just throw it away, no questions asked, and that's really the big problem.
You know, you mentioned off the top that, of course, there's no real sort of basic science here involved in when that date goes on. You said manufacturers want you to have food at its optimal, time. And I thought to myself, wrongly perhaps, they'd also like you to keep buying food, right? The longer you keep it, the less likely you are to go back and buy another item of that particular brand. So is there some kind of regulation you're asking perhaps be changed or modified that we could reconsider best before dates?
Well, it's more about awareness, really. Yes, I would say that there's been some abusive cases, I guess, in the past, because I've seen best before dates on salt and sugar and honey.
Really?
Wow. It was a bit ridiculous. And frankly, to me, best before dates sometimes they've been used to foster this plant obsolescence strategy.
Right.
That we see in other sectors of the economy. So best before dates can actually be seen as a way to plan obsolescence in food. You're absolutely right. And so, but what we're trying to, the message we're trying to convey to the public is that, don't take these dates as law. I mean, it's important that you are allowed to rely on your senses to evaluate risks. Now, not everyone can do that. Of course, if you have a compromised immune system, you got to be careful. If you have children at home, if you have a senior at home, you want to be a little bit careful here. So it really depends who you are.
Well, let's say you don't fall into those categories, and I'm going to just tell you from my point of view, and I know you mentioned in the piece that I read, you mentioned yogurt. So I will occasionally buy yogurt. You have some, and then it ends up on a shelf. It's in the back of the fridge. The next time you find it again or you're looking for it, even though it's been opened, and I've had some, right? I have some Greek yogurt in my fridge, coffee-flavored Greek yogurt like Liberty. And the best before date was, I believe, in June. It's been opened. I opened it the other day, and I looked at it. And, of course, if there's no mold on top, I assume, it could be okay. And then I kind of stirred it around. Then I did what you're suggesting. Now I took a smell, and it's, you know what? It smells exactly the same as when I first had it, so I ate it, and I'm still alive today.
There you go. It was probably a little liquidy, wasn't it?
Yes, it was on top. You're right.
Yeah, so, again, you probably stirred it, and everything was fine.
And that's okay, right?
Absolutely. So, I mean, basically, if you consider these dates as non-negotiable, you're throwing away money, essentially. But if you're flexible and you use your senses and your health is okay, you can actually save quite a bit of money.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting, and neither are you, I know, that we should be doing this with everything in the fridge. You mentioned number one, for meat, for fish, for that kind of stuff. No, I mean, the thing about fish, for example, you leave it in there too long, you're going to know it's no good. It will smell fairly quickly. But for other things, don't be scared off. You have a campaign on this. What's it called?
It's called Smell, Look, Smell, Taste.
Okay.
That's the Too Good To Go campaign.
So is this going to be on food? Like, how's the message getting across to Canadians? Well,
I mean, by way of these studies, I mean, we're getting people to talk about it. In fact, actually, I'm quite pleasantly surprised to see so many journalists and media paying attention to this study. I think we've conducted probably well over 40 interviews for this study in the last 24 hours. So it's great. I mean, the word is out. The word's coming out. And Christmas is just around the corner, and people are struggling with food prices. But at the same time, you want to save as much money as possible.
Yeah,
so that's one way to do it.
I think the interest for media is because we're all people who consume the product as well, right? So it's as interesting for us as it is for everybody else listening, going, I had no idea you could do that.
The key thing here is that a lot of people just don't understand these dates, where they're coming from, and there is zero science. That's
crazy.
The important part.
How does, you think that'd be the first thing you'd want to consider changing, or the government or Health Canada, somebody would consider changing that as well to, in fact, involve science in that?
Well, there is some debate out there saying, well, we should eliminate best before dates because they lead to confusion. But we actually did survey Canadians last year about this issue, and only 27% of Canadians actually would want these dates to disappear. The reason why I'm not sure it's a good idea is that we all go to the grocery store to buy food, but we also buy time. So I'm sure you've seen people going through milk cartons looking at dates because you're buying time. Because at home, things happen. You need to leave the house for a couple of days and come back. You want inventory in your fridge and in your cupboard. So without these dates, you can't do that. So I certainly understand why people want to stick to these dates.
But not to have them eliminated, as you said. By the way, milk, now that you mentioned milk, that's another easy one too, right? Because if it's been sitting there and you're not really not sure, and it's beyond the best before date, when you pour it, if it comes out, as a lump, your milk has gone bad. That's an easy one to tell as well. How do I know that? I don't know. I know that.
If you open up the fridge and something walks out,
that's right. That's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. Absolutely. All right. All these things to keep in mind. Sylvain, always appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You bet. So remember, that's what I love about the story. It's so simple. Best before does not mean bad after. Keep that in mind. Smell, taste, look, as he said, that's their campaign. Save yourself some money. Let's face it, food is getting more and more expensive. If you can eat food and it's still good, even beyond the best before date, eat it. You don't have to buy it again. Spend more money and throw something out. It just doesn't make sense.
Unmistakably Canadian.
It's the music that raised you.
The artists raising the bar.
Hi, this is Brian Adams.
Hey, my name's Brett Emmons. I'm from the Glorious Sons.
Hi, I'm Nelly Furtado.
Made in Canada. The station that champions Canadian music.
Loud, proud, and all yours.
No passports required. Just press play.
Tap into Made in Canada now on iHeartRadio.ca
Or the free iHeartRadio app.